Boom, welcome back to the TNEC cast. It's your man Shuff with the man, the weapon K. And like we always say, we are the TNEC cast. I'm actually feeling kind of energized. We recorded on a different day. So that's good.
Right.
It's not a Monday. Well, K, how you feeling? Wait. Oh, housekeeping, like, comment, subscribe. We
Hmm.
have been better at replying to comments. So I'm very proud of us for that. So we're gonna keep that going. So without further ado, K, how you feeling?
Man, I'm chilling. Can't complain. I woke up this morning. Today, we're going to be talking about trusting on the process, right? And trusting the process consistently. Because it's one thing to trust the process for one prep, but it's another thing to do it in the off season through another prep. And, if you want to have this a 10-year career or whatever have you. This was sponsored by Isaac's Brain. So,
Yeah.
Isaac, go ahead. You got something in your heart.
So you guys know we always, bring you, we pull the curtain back. We talk about things that we talk about in our I call it our pre-show meeting, or AKA our weekly brotherly chat, whichever
Literally.
one
Yeah.
you want to call it. And a lot of what I bring, because I'm an athlete, coach, all these different things. So I bring a lot of stuff from what's going on in real life. And what we've been noticing is different people's approach to the process and people not fully committing to the process, because if you're not fully committed, you can't trust it. If you can't trust it, you're not going to put yourself in a position to succeed. So what we're going to talk about today basically is why you need to trust the process. For example, why do you hire a coach? Especially, it's easy as a newbie, because you have no clue what you're doing, and that's lifestyle or on the competition side. So you hire somebody, you pay them to give you a plan, because you tell them your goals, you tell them your time frame, and they lay out a plan to help you achieve that. Now, the problem is people will pay for said plan, tell, I'm willing to do anything. And I'm going to speak about competitors. I'm willing to do anything. I want my pro card so bad. I'm going to do ABC. I want it. Everybody wants to quote. I think it was the hip hop preacher that said, I think it was him, or one of those motivational dudes that said, you got to want it more than you want to breathe.
Yeah, LCT.
That was the one that went out forever. People be telling me all that, blah, 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 blah. They 3 days in asking for cheat meals. They're 3 days in. Oh, can I change this? And we're not changing it because of an injury or because of life situations, i.e., you got to pick up a child. So on that day you only have an hour at the gym or whatever. Those are things we make those adjustments. You're supposed to. But when you just, oh well, this is a little bit too hard, or I don't really like this. Okay, do you know how many things during a day I do that I do not like in order to get to where I want to be? I'd rather be laid up in bed right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, I'm up. Well, I love doing this, but you know what I'm saying? Like then doing the other things I have to do today. I'd rather be doing something else. And that I'm not unique in that. We all, there's a lot of things we'd rather be doing, but you look at the great people when it talks to process. Okay, you're gonna love this. I think it was our brother Pete that posted it. Shout out to Pete. It was a Kobe thing, and he's talking about waking up at 4. And he was talking about how he gets at it for 2 hours, relaxes for 2 hours, gets
Yeah.
back at it again, and
Yeah.
all laid out. But the thing is, it sounds great, right? So there's a lot of people that probably say, I'm going to do this. Do you have it? What's in you? Do you want it bad enough in you to do that consistently? Not for days, not for weeks, not for months, but for years.
Hmm.
That's what you got to do. Like when it comes to trusting the process, when you lay out a plan, you can't sit there and deviate from it 2 or 3 days in, an 8-week plan, a 12-week plan, a 16-week, but how you can't start deviating right off it. And that's what happens way too often. Or you try to add this, you try to become extra smart and you start trying to read a bunch of nonsense that you don't understand. Then you bring it to me and you say, oh, well, coach, I want to try this. You know what I really want to say? I'll say it on here. I go let that person coach you and deal with you.
Yeah.
That's what I really want to say, but I don't say it because that's uncouth. However, some, not a lot, some. But I say that to say, like when you get on these journeys, right? When you have a process laid out in front of you, the hardest part is putting your head down and just doing it.
Mm.
Because there's a big difference, and I always say there's a big difference between questioning someone and asking a question. I welcome all the questions in the world because I want you to be bought in. Hey, coach, why do we change this up? Oh, coach, why did you lower this? I love those questions because now I can really explain to you what I'm seeing with your body and with your progress and everything like that. Questioning me is, oh, well, I saw such and such on Instagram doing this exercise where they were standing on top of the weights and they were doing a Romanian deadlift lifted up. Okay, go ask them, go ask their coach, and then promptly delete the app and delete my number. You know what I mean? Because it's like, why are you so, stop focus? You got to focus on yourself. Stop worrying about, that's what's going to knock you off of the process. And when you start focusing on what other people are doing, you know what I'm saying? I have the strength and the wherewithal when I'm looking at people. You know, my brother Murph, he knows what's coming for him. He knows what's coming for him in 4 weeks. I'm watching what he's doing, but it's not knocking me off my game. I know what the mission is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know if Logan watches it. Shout out to Logan. I was mad that Logan switched over to the rock classic because I have a plan. I have a hit list. I'm focused on it. I'm extremely focused on it. You know what I'm saying? For you know, for other people on the team, we have missions, but we have a process to get to that mission. We have a process, just like Kay. We literally were just talking about it. There is a process to complete the mission.
Mm-hmm.
Like we always talk about, a mission is very black and white. You either pass or fail. It's not, oh, almost, I did good. Did you achieve the goal? Super Show. Did we achieve the goal? Yes. Took down a legend. Shout out to him. Took down a legend. Now me, my turn. Murph, who I love, that's my brother. I gotta take down a legend. So I can't allow myself to lose focus. Because if I lose focus, I see what he's doing. And that's what the process is. That process should be your grounding. Because too many people, what they want to do is they think just because they have a coach and they have a great coach, because and look, I'm gonna say it like this. I have no qualms. Check the resume. People be posting stuff about all these great coaches. You don't got as many pro wins as I do. You haven't turned as many people as pro I did. Stop. Y'all want to leave me out? That's cool. But don't be mad when I get all ruthless on you. Anyway, you hire a great coach. That does not make you great by osmosis. People got to understand that. You still got to put in the work. You still have to trust and follow the process. So, okay, you know, you've been doing this for 3 years now. You've been through different processes, preparing for different types of shows, you know, all types. So in 3 years, you have a breadth of knowledge. What do you do when you start to lose focus? What do you do when you kind of get into that part where it's like, okay, it's hard to trust what's going on right now because you're not seeing what you want to see or feeling what you want to feel? What kind of helps you, you know, stay sharp?
Funny enough, I really don't got that. Not the focus part, right? But my dad was in the military. I'm in the military. I am painfully good at following orders. I am painfully good at following orders. So even if I know this ship is going to sink, I will still say, Roger that, sir. And we're going to press on. And that's because I trust the people around me, period. Now when we talk about like trusting your coach and things are going downhill and even when things are going downhill, Roger that, because I trust Kyle, I trust Dino, I trust you to have the best interest in mind. So that's a big thing with me. Now for staying focused, I go a little bit darker, right? I think we talked about this in a different episode of just like, there's someone's trying to take food from my daughter's mouth. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at nationals. You know, I'm going at the very last national show where you have people that's been hiding since the beginning of 2021 growing just for this show. You have pissed off people who lost just like me in national shows this year and last year trying to win their last national show. There's no time to be, you know, fiddling around on, oh, I need to try out this movement because, oh, I can just have a little bit of this because I'm already in shape. It's like, nah, bro. They're hungry. I'm starving. That's how I stay. They are hungry. I am starving. That's how I'm attacking, especially like these last 16 weeks of prep for the year. It's like I've been in prep by time of nationals 9 months out of the year.
Ooh.
That's a long time. Ask me if I'm feeling anything.
What you feeling?
Nothing. I texted Dino last night. I was just like, "Hey, yo, when does the fun part start?" It's like, dog, I'm ready to eat. Like, I'm ready to lick a Cheerio and call it a day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm ready to suffer again because I know there's a mission at hand, and I'm not leaving 2023 without that pro card. One thing that you talk about with the process, I am for people going out getting knowledge and stuff like that. Like, I invest thousands of dollars on like John Jewett's program, Joe Bennett's programs, Jordan Peters' programs of just, hey, and then I try to implement it, especially in the off season when you have like, it's like 16 weeks, kind of like learn something new. If it works, stick to it. If it doesn't, let it go. Prep, like last 8 weeks of prep, you don't do some stuff like that. You're going to tear something, right? But this is where it's a team effort of like, coach, I'm doing this right here. What do you think about it? Hey, I don't really agree with that. And then you guys can come to a little dialogue and then be like, all right, cool, I won't track it. Like, I'm starting to track steps. Who would have known? Increase, right? It's like, what? John Jewett told me that, hey, easiest thing of cardio, track your steps. So, I'm hitting up Dino. Hey, man, my baseline, like, I just measured it throughout the week. It was 6,000. I'm going to bump it up to 1,000, see, like, where the scale goes and stuff like that. Started to plummet. Cool. Now it's like every day I'm making a habit to get in my 7,000 steps. And as we go on, we're going to add in some more and 10,000 and blah, blah, blah. And stay active because, like, my last prep, I was sitting on my ass the last 4 weeks because I was starving. I was like, bro, I'm tired. I got a newborn at home. I'm trying to spend time with her. I got a wife. I got a job. I don't want to be outside walking. Fuck that. You know what I mean? But now you have to be a little bit more mindful of being like, okay, I need to stay active. Even if it's going to the court and shooting for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Even if it's just like walking outside, spending time with my wife, walking in the house. Like, it was 7 o'clock. I have to be in bed by 8. I was pacing from the kitchen to the front door just to get 2,000 steps in. Back and forth. So, and it's also building that, I will not negotiate with myself. Whatever the plan is, whatever I put on this piece of paper, I will execute. What I pulled up earlier is, if you guys can see, this is my little program. I don't think you guys can see it. It looks
like you see the basics.
Kind of, boom. Kind of. It was there for a frame. If you can pause it, whatever. I don't want to share my secrets or whatever they say. But whatever's on that, I will follow it to a T. Depleted, tired, sleepy, hungry. I will follow that to a T because I made that promise to myself before I even stepped foot in the gym. And that's going to hold me accountable. So that's my process that I'm following of making the promise to myself, to the people that believe in me, the people that doubt me, of saying, dog, like, we're about to shock the world. True or not, that's what I believe. Mm-hmm. And we're going to execute. So what are some tricks or tips or tricks? Because like not everyone's just like, Roger that, Sarn, and just press on. What are some tips that you can give to your athletes to follow the plan?
So number one, right? Like I tell people this sport, and really if fitness in general is more mental than anything else. So kind of like what I'm saying is both, a lot of it crosses over for both, the athlete and the lifestyle side. The easy one, but it's true, is remember why you started. Remember why you did it, because sometimes you might, this isn't for when you're 3 weeks in, this is for when you've been doing it for a while and you got to remember why you started. Lifestyle side, you're trying to get off blood pressure medication, or you had a come to Jesus meeting with your doctor. It's like, hey, if you don't get right, you don't got much more time till you're up out of here. Yeah. On the athlete side, you made a bunch of proclamations about how you're going to do A, B, C, X, Y, Z. And, it's 2 or 3 years in and you're not really sniffing it. You got to kind of look back and, man, when I said I was going to do this. So remembering why you started, and then also remembering your why. Because something that, we used to talk about a long time ago and we hear it all the time, make sure that your why is stronger than your excuses. Make sure your why is stronger than when you're tired and, those kind of things. So those are kind of like, the easy ones. But the other ones, I say, when you start to really lose focus, that's when you look at your plan again. Really look at your plan again, and then say to yourself, okay, I'm not where I want to be. How much have I adhered to this plan? Look at your nutrition. how many days, how many meals. So, 30, you got 35 meals this week. How many of those 35 meals did you hit on point? If you're being honest, because a lot of people they'll lie. You know what I mean? Because if you hit 20 out of 35, your result will show that, versus if you hit 35 out of 35. Same thing with your workouts, your activity, all these different things. Go back, because then you then you can see, you can be like, okay, this is where I'm messing up. I'm hitting on my workouts, I'm hitting my activity, but I'm not hitting my meals. I need to, now you can reach out for the help. Coach, I'm having trouble hitting my meals. It's too much. It's not enough. Can we figure out a different way? Because now that's a different conversation, because now you have some empirical data to say, hey, coach, here's where I am. Here's what I'm doing. And then it's just like, about, the mental strength, on the athlete side, knowing what you're up against. Because I know me, right? I hate to lose. That's number one. But number two, I really ain't trying to get embarrassed.
Yeah.
I've really only had that happen to me one time. And unfortunately, it was my last show, the last show that I did. And that stuck with me, and look, I had a reason. We don't make no excuses, no whatever. I took my black butt on stage, so I can't say nothing. You know what I mean? But it's knowing what you're up against and who you're up against. Because you can't, look, if you're trying to eat with the big dog, this male, female, this ain't just, I know we're two guys, but this male, female, you're trying to eat with the big dogs. You can't come up there half stepping.
Yeah.
You can't come up there half stepping. So that's one of those things, when you start losing focus and you start kind of like veering off the path, you got to remember what's lurking. Like when Rocky was training for my man Clubber Lang the first time, you saw how he had to switch up the training because he was lollipops and gum drops and got knocked out the ring. You know what I'm saying? So those are the type of people. That's who I always feel like I'm going against. You know what I mean? Some other things, this is where, become more process oriented. Take things, you can make it as granular as you can handle. Now, I'm not trying to say do it by the minute. That's why I say granular as you can handle, meal by meal, workout by workout, every couple of days, every week, bring it back to something that's more manageable. Because sometimes we get our eye way down, too far down the road, and we lose focus on, the process, because something that I do, like actually, the post that we just did with Audra, she was losing focus. This is something I do all the time, because every time somebody starts to lose focus, it's because they've been working their butts off, but they can't see the result until take the picture from 6 months ago or however long ago and the current one. And then they're like, oh crap, I did that. So that's why you bring it in, and, to help stay on the process, you got to fall in love with that process. You got to fall in love with the process. How you hear people say, embrace the grind. That's something I tell people. Look, you got to fall in love with it. Embrace the suck. We know prep sucks. There are times where it's not that bad. Right now, I'm full of energy. I don't know what's going to happen an hour from now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, I'm nowhere near my step goal right now. Once I get closer to my step goal, I might be, not feeling so hot. So those are some of the things that, like, in the conversations that I have with athletes, with lifestyle clients, stuff that, we kind of talk about. Because while Kyrie and I are very similar, I know myself, I get in my head a lot more than people that don't know me versus just, a screen persona, social media, see me at a show. I get in my head a whole lot. So it's something, and boy, I hope we don't rabbit hole this one. It's why I talk about, emotions versus mental strength. If my emotions ran me, I would not be on the earth right now. I promise you that. I would not be here. I would have done something dumb to somebody, to myself, whatever. I would not be here. My mental strength is what keeps my emotions in check, because you can't control how you feel about something. You can only control how you react. So that's why I always tell people, work on your mental strength, because your emotions, right? You and I, we can look at the same thing. We're going to feel two different emotions, and we can't help how we feel about it, but we can control how we react to it. So it's the same thing, when you look at your progress picture and you're not happy, how are you going to react to it? Are you going to react by, I'm going to Krispy Kreme because I'm so upset, or because I'm so happy? Could be either or.
Yeah.
You know, or you know, how just really how are you going to react to it? Are you going to react like, okay, I'm not quite where I want to be. Let me hunker down and keep going. You know, so those are all the things that, like, you know, I kind of, you know, go into with people, and I'm very open about my struggles with my emotions and things like that, because a lot of people think I'm cold, and I'm only cold to protect myself because I got a big heart, and a lot of people take advantage of that. So who gonna protect that? Me, the ruthless me. You know what I'm saying? And so it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to kind of like talk about these things and let people know, because you take your Terminators like Kyrie, you know, they compute the orders and they go in. I mean, I'm following my orders. I know I got to get the mission done, but I also know that my mind, man, that's why I miss running. Running really helped keep me in check, because I was just out there in the open. Didn't, you know, I didn't have the temptation to deal, because even early in the morning when I still do my fast, I still get messages from clients, you know, all these different things. When I'm running, you can't run, especially as fast as I was going. You can't
your
phone. Do that. That's, you know what I mean? So that was it was very good for my mental state, you know. So I'm still working through some things by not having that, you know what I mean? And so again, these are good conversations to have. So nobody's alone in these struggles. We all, in some way, shape, or form, struggle to stay on a process. In some way, shape, or form. So when people hear people like you and I talking about it, they think we're talking down to people, telling people, "Oh, you're weak because you can't." Nah, we're not saying that. Number one, be careful what you say in public, because that is what opens you up for the criticism. That's number one. You know, and then number two, it's like, look, again, like I said, we're all dealing with it. We just deal with it in different ways. And you have to find a way to deal with it that it does not knock you off of what you're trying to achieve. Because if it knocks you off of what you're trying to achieve, then it's bad. Point blank, period. And you got to eliminate it, because you have to let your goal always remain number one when you're in the process. So
to sum it all up, give yourself some grace, dog.
Yeah.
So even if like you just got the program today, and you're like, I'm gonna start it on Monday, and Monday, out of the 5 meals you were supposed to eat, you hit 2. Tuesday, you hit 3. Wednesday, you hit all 5. Now you look at it and you be like, okay, during the week I hit 30 out of the 35. Next week I'm gonna hit 31, and you build up from there. Not like even my first prep, 16 weeks out. Dog, I missed some meals. It was just like, it was a lot of food and the consistency of it. But throughout the years, you become a better bodybuilder. It's a skill. You know, this is a big debate. Is bodybuilding a skill? But I think it's a discipline is a skill.
Yep.
So obviously, like, the more time goes on, the better of a bodybuilder. Like, dog, I am structured. I'm about to eat my next meal. And I know exactly when the next meal is going in, and then the next meal. 3 years ago, I was like, whenever I can eat them, I'll eat them. And life was so much simpler before than it is now.
Yep.
But you just get better. So if you're 1 year in the process, 2 years in the process, 3 years like myself, you're just continuously just get better. Just a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. You train harder. You consistently, check the boxes outside the gym. My sleep is much more structured. But I didn't get here by just magically waking up one day and was like, I'm the greatest bodybuilder of all time. I failed a shit ton of just like, oh man. I remember this one time, I had a powdered donut. I went to Walmart. Also, don't go to the store hungry. Anyway. Oh. And I chewed it. I was chewing on it. Just something sweet. And I'll spit it out. Because I heard Kevin Levrone used to do that, and I was like, I'll try it. Why not? And then, like, by the second one, I popped it in. My brain was like, you're gonna eat that damn donut. You're gonna eat him. Immediately. Like, as soon as I throw it in there, it was done. And fucked up the donut. And I threw the rest away. But But I knew then was just like, okay, what happened as soon as I ate the donut? I was filled with just like regret. Because I knew my competition didn't eat that damn donut. My competition didn't even look at the donut. They were looking at me like chopped liver. They were like, bro, I'm about to, oh, you slacking right now? I'm about to eat you alive. Which they did. But now I have to get better. And better. And better. So give yourself some grace. You're not going to win all the time. You're not going to win the war within all the time. This is a life game, bro. If you can get 51% from the field, that's a win. Hey, you won the game.
People in the hall. Look, NBA Hall of Fame.
Mike, 50%. That's a win. So give yourself some grace, guys. You got anything else for the people?
No, I was gonna say we need to bring back the trophy counter. We gotta talk about it. We gotta bring that back. I think we had like 7.
Seven?
Yeah, we're at 6 or 7 so far this year.
7?
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to do men's physique and classic at San Antonio. Yeah. Now I'm gonna have to, bro.
Hey, look, we had to beat last year, which we're gonna. I mean,
what was last year? Last year was something stupid. It was like 21.
It's so crazy, and the thing is that this is what people don't realize about maintaining a standard of excellence. We only counted certain wins. We didn't count everything. That was it. It was the overall the pro win. We didn't count all the other stuff. You know what I mean? So that's what I just wanted to say. That's one to remind. We need to bring that back.
Say less. I will throw it in there as soon as I press stop recording.
Yep. So like always, another great episode. Thank you everybody for tuning in and tapping in. Special shout out because to my little brother Alan and Murph, they always are commenting and showing love. Yeah. Pop always shows love, so definitely want to send a shout out to you guys. And that's it for me, man. 4 weeks, actually now technically less. 3 weeks and 6 days.
Hey, and that's like tomorrow, dog, in prep life. You're gonna blink and you're in peak week.
Look, and all I gotta say is your boy's looking nasty.
Hey, let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. I don't think I was talking to you. It was like how like the leanest part of your body should look like the back of your hand.
Yep.
But yeah, until next time, guys. We'll catch you later.
Peace.